Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we are jumping down into the world of Singularity DAO. This is an AI based project that I think every retail investor needs to do some more fundamental research on. In today's video though, we are not taking a look at the fundamentals, we were actually taking a look at the technicals. We're jumping down into the charts for the 1 hour, 1 day and 1 week timeframes, giving my thoughts and opinions on where I think the price action is going for the 𝗕𝗓 token. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe? You can always unsubscribe later. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into today's video, kicking things off with that 1 hour time frame. So here we have Singularity DAO paired up with USDT, and we're using the 1 hour chart on KuCoin for this one. So Singularity DAO is not listed on BitGet, so if anyone from BitGet is watching, what are you waiting for? Pull your finger out, get it listed, and then I can have your chart on here, you know. A little bit of an incentive maybe. Moving on though, so we can see here that we are in a bit of a ranging market for Singularity DAO. Okay, and we can see that we kind of have some interesting kind of patterns and structures here. There's a lot of overlap, and for the most part, I suspect that we are moving on down at the moment. So you can see here a very nice aggressive move to the upside, correction, and then another move to the upside. This should fall within its parameters, but we'll just go ahead and do our due diligence and check it nonetheless. Let's move this over to here, and we can see actually a little bit short, to be fair. We were actually should have been targeting out more towards 43.91 and 45.69, so a little short of its expected move, but it is a three-wave structure nonetheless by the looks of it. To me, this can of course still rally on up, and we could end up with another corrective move upwards here, but I'm not thinking that's the likelihood case. I mean, it's possible, of course. So for now, I'm going to mark this up as corrective and complete here, with our correction still slipping to the downside. Now, from a smart money concepts point of view, we have entered into a bearish structure through the change of characterization here. This is to basically follow on from the bullish structure that we had just before we went up, and we have this bearish one just over here. Ultimately, it's changing around a lot on these smaller time frames, simply just because, you know, you can see bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, and so forth, right? This is just because we can't get a confirmation of the move, and we've just been in a ranging market. As in, you can see here, we've just gone sideways. These spikes to the upside, though, they are significant, and this is the beauty of these lower cap coins. As you can see, very significant surges, like 18% here, and then correcting down, and then another, what is this one over this side, from that low to that high? 14%, right? And so you can see that these spikes to the upside, where it doesn't take a lot of liquidity to move the price in those directions, and you can see that actually there's a lot of significant gains to potentially be made if you can time it correctly. So on the hourly chart, there's not much more I can really go through here. It's a lot of volatility with micro cap coins, and Elliott wave theory doesn't really like that. Ultimately, we're in a bearish structure here, and we do suspect that we are likely to continue moving down a little bit deeper. But let's take this up into the daily time frame. The daily time frame, obviously, there's not a lot of candlesticks here. There's not a lot of information for us now, but for the most part, we can see here that actually we're in an interesting spot. We had the bear market low in January of 2023, was 14.77 cent, and I know that we did a lot of accumulating during 2022 for 𝗕𝗓, buying up some really good, fantastic deals on the way to the downside. Okay, now we can see that we are in a bearish structure now on our daily time frame as well, right? This is, if we take a look at here, right, we were bearish, confirmed bearish this side. We've got a change of characteristic as we rallied on up, and now we're back in that bearish state of play. Okay, so obviously this is all the AI chat GPT kind of FOMO stuff that was going on, and you know, for the most part, I still think we're going to perform incredibly well. So I hold a reasonable amount of 𝗕𝗓, and I think anyone who does, I think, you know, should kind of take that into consideration, that I think long term that this is actually going to be a really reasonable project. But obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I cannot give financial advice or anything like that, so just bear that in mind. These are just my thoughts and opinions on what I think is going on. Now, for the most part here, we can see that it looks like we've completed a three-wave correction to the downside. And again, this would have been within our parameters. Let's go ahead and just sense check this. So actually it's still falling a little short of the actual target range. It seems to be a common problem here. So this actually seems to be 786 and obviously reversal. This reversal pattern to the upside, we'll go ahead and sense check that, because that also looks like from my eyesight here, that it is within its parameters as well. This one is exactly within the parameters, and we move on down. So we do have a 3-wave correction here, like this, and we start in this move to the downside. At the moment, we're kind of bouncing up on the 200 daily EMA there, heading towards it, and equilibrium. This is going to be the major resistance. So for now, this looks like we are probably push up a little bit further, back up to equilibrium, and then move on down. To me, I suspect that we're going to end up with a 3-wave pattern. We grab this 3-wave pattern that will take us down deeper than where we were previously, and for great accumulation. There's a few fair value gaps on the daily chart as well. We kind of say that these should get filled out. There's no guarantee of that though, but obviously the low side is 17 cents, so it's possible. I think that the bottom is potentially in for 𝗕𝗏, and we are just looking for corrections to the downside. Now, if this is to be considered a wave 1 and a reversal pattern, then we should be expecting a potential to retrace somewhere down towards the 88.2% all the way to that 50%. So this is quite broad, but you can kind of see that our final bear market movements should be somewhere between these two ranges, basically 19.36 cent to 46.65 cent. This will basically potentially be a long ranging market into the wave 2 before getting that next big surge to the upside as a possibility. Keep that in mind. The internal workings are more important. Now, from a weekly standpoint, we have even less candlesticks. There's not a huge amount more I can really say about this. It does look like we have found good support at the moment on the lows around 32.67 cents. As you can kind of see here, this is previous consolidation, previous resistance, and we found good support to be found there. Ultimately, though, if we were to slip down more towards some of those key levels that we're just talking about, 24 cent is the next obvious one to me that kind of stands out. It might be a little bit higher than that. 24.92, as you can kind of see here, previous support resistance in that range. So for the most part, I think 𝗕𝗏 is still going to have a little bit more of a move to the downside, some great accumulation. But for the most part, I suspect it's going to start to have a really nice run when that bullish market gets going. And yeah, I think new all-time highs are something that I should be kind of personally expecting to see here when it comes to Singularity DAO. But again, understand the fundamentals to see why I think that this is really important. If this is an altcoin that you've not heard of before, do join us down in Discord. We have a well-educated community on the Singularity-based projects. So why not go ahead and check out the Discord link is in the description below. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.